Imagine going to sleep tonight and waking up not just rested, but genuinely healthier. Imagine a single, simple action before bed actively working through the night to shrink the most dangerous type of fat wrapped around your organs, silently rebalancing your body's hormones to lower insulin resistance, and systematically dialing down the chronic stress hormone that keeps you wired, tired, and storing belly fat. This isn't a fantasy or the plot of a science fiction movie. This is the emerging, powerful reality behind a specific 200 milligram dose of a specific compound that is changing how we think about nighttime physiology and metabolic health. The title of this video isn't clickbait. It's a direct reflection of a growing body of clinical research that points to a profound synergy between sleep, metabolism, and recovery. For years, we've been told that weight loss and health optimization are about brutal calorie restriction, exhausting hours in the gym, and a constant battle of willpower against our own biology. But what if the missing piece, the true leverage point, wasn't about doing more, but about recovering smarter? What if the key to unlocking a leaner, healthier, and more resilient body was actually hidden in the quality and chemistry of your sleep? This is exactly what we are diving into today. We are going to dissect the mechanism, the evidence, and the precise protocol for using this 200 milligram dose to target visceral fat, improve insulin sensitivity, and crush cortisol. This isn't about a magic pill, it's about understanding a fundamental biological pathway that, when supported correctly, can yield dramatic results. The hero of our story, the compound we're discussing, is a specific form of magnesium. But not just any magnesium. We are talking about magnesium L-Threonate. Now, before you click away thinking this is just another generic magnesium supplement video, hear me out. While all forms of magnesium have their benefits, magnesium L-Threonate possesses a unique and critical property that makes it the standout candidate for the effects mentioned in our title. Its unparalleled ability to cross the blood-brain barrier and directly influence brain function and neurochemistry. This is the key that unlocks everything else. You see, your brain is the master conductor of your entire hormonal symphony. It controls your stress response through the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, it influences your metabolism, and it governs the quality of your sleep. By delivering magnesium directly to the brain, magnesium L-Threonate doesn't just help with relaxation in a general sense, it directly modulates the systems that control cortisol, insulin, and fat storage. The 200 milligram dosage, often referring to the elemental magnesium content, is a crucial part of this equation. It's a dose that's been used in human trials to demonstrate measurable cognitive benefits, and it's this same neurological impact that creates the downstream effects on body composition. So, how does this work in practice? Let's start with cortisol, the central villain in our story of modern metabolic dysfunction. Cortisol is your primary stress hormone. In acute, short-term bursts, it's life-saving. But in our chronically stressed, over-caffeinated, sleep-deprived lives, cortisol levels remain persistently elevated, especially in the evening when they should be naturally declining. This high nighttime cortisol is a metabolic disaster. It tells your body to store energy, particularly as visceral fat, which is the active, inflammatory fat that surrounds your organs and is directly linked to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and other metabolic disorders. It disrupts your sleep architecture, preventing you from getting the deep, restorative sleep you need. It creates a vicious cycle where stress causes poor sleep, and poor sleep causes more stress and more fat storage. By taking 200 milligrams of magnesium L-Threonate before bed, you are providing your brain with the essential mineral it needs to calm the nervous system. Magnesium acts as a natural NMDA receptor antagonist and a GABA agonist, which is a scientific way of saying it puts the brakes on neuronal excitability. It tells your brain's stress centers to power down, facilitating a natural and significant drop in cortisol levels. This single action lowering nighttime cortisol is the first and most critical domino to fall. It sets the stage for deeper sleep, which in turn allows for the next phase of this powerful overnight transformation, the recalibration of your insulin sensitivity. Now that we've established how the 200 milligram dose of magnesium L-threonate acts as a powerful cortisol-lowering agent by directly calming the brain's stress response, we can explore the second incredible benefit: its profound impact on insulin sensitivity. Insulin is the hormone responsible for shuttling glucose from your bloodstream into your cells to be used for energy. When you become insulin resistant, your cells stop responding effectively to insulin's knock on the door. Your pancreas then has to pump out more and more insulin to get the same job done, leading to chronically high levels of insulin in your blood. This condition, known as hyperinsulinemia, is a primary driver of weight gain, energy crashes, and ultimately, type 2 diabetes. High insulin levels tell your body, store fat, don't burn it. They lock fat away in your adipose tissue, making it nearly impossible to lose weight no matter how hard you diet or exercise. So, what connects a magnesium supplement taken for brain health to this fundamental metabolic hormone? The connection is deep, multifaceted, and incredibly compelling. Firstly, by effectively lowering cortisol, as we just discussed, magnesium L-threonate removes a major antagonist to insulin function. Cortisol and insulin are inversely related. When cortisol is high, insulin sensitivity plummets. This is because, from an evolutionary perspective, if you're in a stressed fight or flight state, your body wants to preserve quick-burning glucose in your bloodstream for immediate energy. So it makes your cells temporarily resistant to insulin's signal to store that glucose. By normalizing cortisol, you remove this metabolic block, allowing insulin to work as intended. But the benefits of magnesium for insulin sensitivity go far beyond just cortisol management. Magnesium itself is an essential cofactor for over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, and many of these are directly involved in carbohydrate metabolism and the insulin signaling pathway itself. The enzymes that control how your cells respond to insulin, including the tyrosine kinase activity of the insulin receptor, are magnesium dependent. Think of magnesium as the key that helps insulin unlock the door to your cells. Without sufficient magnesium, the key doesn't turn smoothly, and glucose builds up in the bloodstream. Numerous, large-scale observational studies have consistently shown that higher dietary magnesium intake is associated with a significantly lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Furthermore, clinical trials where participants were supplemented with magnesium have demonstrated direct improvements in insulin sensitivity and glycemic control. The unique advantage of magnesium L-threonate in this context is, once again, its brain penetration. The hypothalamus in your brain is a master regulator of whole-body energy balance and glucose homeostasis. By optimizing magnesium levels in the brain, you are effectively tuning up the body's central metabolic control panel. Research in animal models has shown that restoring brain magnesium levels can reverse many of the brain-related metabolic defects that contribute to insulin resistance. When you take your 200 milligram dose before bed, you are not only setting the stage for lower cortisol, but also providing the fundamental building block for a more efficient insulin response system throughout your entire body. As you sleep deeply, your body enters a state of repair and recalibration. With cortisol low and magnesium levels optimal, your cells become more receptive to insulin. This means that the next day, your body is better equipped to handle carbohydrates, you experience fewer energy crashes and sugar cravings, and your system is primed to use food for fuel rather than storing it as fat. This improved metabolic flexibility is a game changer for long-term weight management and health. But the story doesn't end with cortisol and insulin. The third and most visually compelling result of this protocol is its direct and indirect attack on visceral fat. This isn't about losing water weight or a few pounds of muscle. This is about systematically dismantling the most stubborn and dangerous fat deposit in your body: Visceral fat is not the subcutaneous fat you can pinch on your belly or thighs. It's the deep internal fat that surrounds your liver, pancreas, and intestines. It's metabolically active, acting almost like a separate organ that pumps out inflammatory cytokines, disrupts hormones, and is a primary driver of chronic disease. This is the fat that gives you that apple-shaped physique and is so strongly correlated with poor health outcomes. So, how does a magnesium supplement, particularly magnesium L-Threonate, contribute to the shrinkage of this specific type of fat? The mechanism is not a direct fat-burning effect in the way a stimulant might work. Instead, it's a sophisticated, multi-pronged strategy that creates an internal environment where your body is forced to let go of visceral fat because it no longer needs it for survival. The first and most powerful prong is, as we've detailed, the dramatic reduction in cortisol. Elevated cortisol is like a direct growth hormone for visceral fat. Your abdominal fat cells have up to 4 times more cortisol receptors than fat cells elsewhere in your body. When cortisol is high, it activates an enzyme called lipoprotein lipase in these visceral fat cells, which encourages them to suck up circulating fats and store them. Simultaneously, it suppresses another enzyme called hormone-sensitive lipase, which is responsible for breaking down stored fat for energy. In simple terms, high cortisol tells your belly fat to hold on tight and grow. By taking 200 milligrams of magnesium L-Threonate before bed and achieving that significant cortisol drop, you are effectively cutting the primary fuel supply to your visceral fat. You're turning off the storage signal and allowing the breakdown signals to function normally. The second prong is the improvement in insulin sensitivity we just discussed. Remember, insulin is a fat storage hormone. When insulin levels are chronically high, your body is in constant storage mode. Lipolysis, the breakdown of fat, is completely shut down. By improving insulin sensitivity, you create a metabolic state where your body can more easily access and burn stored fat for energy, especially during the overnight fast when you're not eating. The third prong involves the critical role of deep, restorative sleep. This is where the brain-specific benefits of magnesium L-Threonate pay massive dividends for fat loss. Deep sleep, or slow-wave sleep, is when your body releases pulses of human growth hormone. HGH is a potent fat-burning hormone that promotes the use of fat for fuel and helps maintain lean muscle mass. Without deep sleep, your HGH production is severely blunted. Furthermore, poor sleep disrupts the hormones leptin and ghrelin. Leptin tells your brain you're full, while ghrelin tells you you're hungry. When you're sleep deprived, leptin plummets and ghrelin soars, leading to increased hunger and cravings, particularly for high-carbohydrate, high-calorie foods. By enhancing sleep quality through its calming effect on the brain, magnesium L-Threonate helps to normalize these critical hormones. You wake up feeling genuinely rested, not ravenous. This natural appetite regulation makes a calorie deficit essential for fat loss infinitely easier to maintain without white-knuckle willpower. The combination of lower cortisol, improved insulin sensitivity, and optimized sleep architecture creates a perfect storm for visceral fat loss. Your body is no longer being bombarded with hormonal signals to store fat in your abdomen. Instead, it's in a state of recovery and repair, where it can efficiently use stored energy. This is why the 200 milligrams before bed protocol is so powerful. It works with your body's natural circadian rhythms and repair cycles, turning your sleep time into an active therapeutic session for shrinking visceral fat and rebuilding metabolic health from the inside out. But to fully harness this power, the implementation is key. It's not just about taking any magnesium supplement. It's about the right type, the right dose, the right timing, and integrating it into a lifestyle that supports these profound changes. Understanding the science is one thing. Implementing it correctly for tangible results is another. To truly harness the power of the 200 milligrams before bed protocol to shrink visceral fat, lower insulin, and drop cortisol, we need to talk about the specifics: sourcing, timing, synergy, and realistic expectations. First and foremost, the type of magnesium is non-negotiable. As we've established, the unique cognitive benefits that drive the cortisol-lowering and sleep-enhancing effects are tied specifically to magnesium L-threonate. This is because it's bound to the L-threonic acid molecule, a metabolite of vitamin C, which is what grants it its high bioavailability and ability to cross the blood-brain barrier. Using magnesium citrate, oxide, or glycinate will not replicate these specific brain-level effects, even if they are beneficial for other things like digestion or muscle relaxation. When you are shopping for a supplement, look for a product that is explicitly magnesium L-threonate and check the supplement facts panel to ensure the dosage of elemental magnesium per serving is in the ballpark of 200 milligrams. Different brands have different formulations, so always read the label carefully. The timing is the second critical pillar. The instruction before bed is not arbitrary. This protocol is designed to work in sync with your body's natural circadian rhythm. Cortisol should be at its lowest point during the night, and taking the supplement 30 to 60 minutes before you intend to sleep allows the magnesium levels in your brain to peak just as you are trying to wind down and enter a state of deep rest. This pre-sleep window maximizes its impact on calming the nervous system, facilitating the drop in cortisol, and setting the stage for a night of high-quality, restorative sleep, which, as we now know, is essential for the growth hormone release and metabolic repair that drives fat loss. However, it is absolutely vital to state that this supplement is a powerful lever, not a magic bullet. It works best when it is part of a holistic approach to health. Think of it as the catalyst that amplifies the positive effects of other healthy choices. For instance, if you take your 200 milligrams of magnesium L-threonate, but then scroll through stressful news on your phone right before bed, you are sending conflicting signals to your brain. The blue light from screens suppresses melatonin production and can stimulate a stress response, counteracting the supplement's benefits. Therefore, pairing this protocol with a consistent bedtime routine is essential. This could include dimming the lights an hour before bed, reading a physical book, practicing gentle meditation or deep breathing exercises, or taking a warm bath. Similarly, the supplement's profound effects on insulin sensitivity will be most dramatic if you are also mindful of your diet. Consuming a diet high in refined sugars and processed carbohydrates will keep your insulin levels on a roller coaster, making it harder for your body to regain sensitivity. Focusing on whole foods, adequate protein, healthy fats, and fiber-rich vegetables provides the nutritional foundation upon which the magnesium can work its metabolic magic. The same goes for movement. Regular exercise, particularly resistance training and low-intensity steady-state cardio, is one of the most powerful tools known to improve insulin sensitivity and reduce visceral fat. The 200 milligrams protocol will enhance your recovery from this exercise, improve your sleep quality, and create a powerful positive feedback loop. Your results will not be instantaneous. This is not a lose 10 pounds of visceral fat in a week scheme. This is a process of recalibrating your foundational physiology. You might notice improvements in sleep quality and a reduction in morning anxiety within the first few days. Changes in energy levels, cravings, and insulin sensitivity may take a few weeks. Visible and measurable reductions in visceral fat will require consistency over a period of months, combined with a supportive diet and lifestyle. Be patient and trust the process. You are addressing the root causes of metabolic dysfunction, not just masking the symptoms, and that takes time but leads to lasting, sustainable change. We have journeyed through the compelling science of how a specific 200 milligram dose of magnesium L-threonate, taken before bed, can act as a powerful agent for transforming your health by systematically lowering cortisol, improving insulin sensitivity, and shrinking dangerous visceral fat. We've explored the unique brain-penetrating ability of this specific form of magnesium that sets it apart. We've broken down the hormonal domino effect it triggers, and we've outlined the precise implementation strategy to ensure you get the best possible results. This isn't just another health fad. It's a protocol grounded in understanding the deep interconnections between your brain, your hormones, your sleep, and your metabolism. By now, you should have a clear picture of why this approach is so effective. It targets the master control systems of your body, creating cascading benefits that no single fat burner or crash diet could ever hope to achieve. It respects your body's innate intelligence and works with your natural rhythms, not against them. The potential impact of this is profound. Waking up feeling truly rested, without that fog of chronic stress. Having steady energy throughout the day, free from the crushing afternoon slumps and intense sugar cravings. Watching your waistline shrink as your body lets go of the inflammatory fat that has been harming your health for years. And knowing that you are actively lowering your risk for serious conditions like type 2 diabetes and heart disease with this simple, consistent nightly habit. This is the promise of taking control of your metabolic health from the ground up. But knowledge without action is merely entertainment. You now possess the information that could fundamentally change your health trajectory. The question is, what will you do with it? Will you let this be just another interesting video you watched? Or will you take the first, simple step toward making it a reality in your own life? That first step is to find a high-quality source of magnesium L-Threonate. Do your research, read the labels as we discussed, and choose a reputable brand that clearly states its elemental magnesium content. The second step is to commit to the timing. Tonight, about 30 to 60 minutes before you plan to go to sleep, take that one serving. Put your phone away, dim the lights, and allow the supplement to work in synergy with a calming environment. The third step is to be consistent. Make this your new, non-negotiable bedtime ritual. Give your body the time it needs weeks and months, not just days to recalibrate and heal. Track how you feel. Notice the improvements in your sleep, your mood, upon waking, your energy levels, and your cravings. These are the signs that the deeper, invisible work on your hormones and visceral fat is underway. This is your opportunity to break free from the cycles of stress, poor sleep, and stubborn weight gain. You have the key. Now it's time to unlock the door. And if you found this deep dive into the science of magnesium L-Threonate and its profound effects on fat loss and metabolic health valuable, if you're ready to take control of your well-being based on solid information rather than marketing hype, then I need you to do one more thing for me. The YouTube algorithm is a powerful tool, and it helps me bring this level of detailed, research-backed content to you. So, if you want to see more videos like this that cut through the noise and give you actionable, science-driven strategies to optimize your health, then please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss a single upload. Your support is what makes this channel possible, and I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments section down below. What is the one health goal you are most excited to tackle with this new 200 milligram before bed protocol? Is it better sleep, more energy, or finally saying goodbye to that stubborn belly fat? Sharing your goal makes you more accountable and helps build a community of like-minded people all working towards better health. Thank you so much for watching, for investing this time in yourself, and for committing to your well-being. I'll see you in the next video.